Hey everybody, it's happy Valentine's Day, and I just wanted to give a message out for things that are truly important. It's Valentine's Day, and that's a good thing. I always felt like you should live every day as if the one you love is the one you love, and why stop at one day? Hey, there are 360 plus days a year. I would say 5 or 6, but I forgot if this was a leap year. And anyway. Just wanted to tell you that, there are lots of important things, and, if you're worried that there's one day and you don't know how to express your feelings or what to do, or if there's the right gift or the perfect gift or anything like that, just remember that the gift is just being there. It really is. It's just showing up and being there and loving the person you're with. Give you a little bit of a backstory. At the time we were dating, we were looking at buying a house. My now wife and I, we were looking at buying a house in 2011, and we'd searched and searched and searched, and finally found a house we loved, and we put the earnest money down. And she was getting ready to move out of hers and sell hers and come up, and we were going to start our life together. Wonderful thing. Lots of people do it, and it's a very happy moment. And on June 1st, we had started out like normal, just, hey, miss you, can't wait to see you, blah, blah, blah. And then the text messages went silent. And I didn't think that much about it. Sometimes she took naps in the day, or, she had to work and had to do stuff, so I thought she was busy. And I went and taught my yoga class and finished up and noticed I had a message from someone I didn't recognize. And I listened to the voicemail, and it was her sister. Someone I'd never met, her sister, saying that she'd had a brain aneurysm rupture and that she's in stable but critical condition in the hospital. And that was it. They didn't have that much more information. And at the time, I didn't know what a brain aneurysm was. Didn't realize how serious it was. So I was like, okay, I'll come down on the weekend. Whatever. And I went home and had to figure out that had to learn quickly exactly how bad a brain aneurysm is. And quick Google search kind of said, oops, I'm driving down to Columbia right now and I'll be there in a couple hours. And I did. And that started off on several days of watching my beloved lay in bed with an intubation tube and no motion, no responses, no nothing. She was in a flat out coma. Like complete coma, couldn't breathe on her own. And I watched for days and days and days. And I had just started a job, so I had to drive back and forth to keep my job and employment. And so I drove back and forth and back and forth. And my beloved woke up, and I was so happy to see her smile. I was just happy to see her. She doesn't remember, but she wanted a McFlurry. And it was so cute, and her sister bought her a McFlurry, and watching her eat it was just like the greatest thing ever. Blueberry McFlurry. Didn't even know they made them. It was a great thing though. It was like fantastic. And then we get a few days of talking and just being there in the hospital, and she still had a drain in her head and no memories, and no memories of what happened anyway, and nothing of the last few days. And she'd get confused, and there were lots of little neuro things, but nothing horrible. Things you can get over, And after about a week of that, we got a call at midnight, and she'd had a second rupture, and basically shot blood out of her shunt in their head, and caused one of the doctors on call to have to go and do a bedside surgery. That was rough, like hearing that, because the doctor wasn't sure if she was going to live, and he didn't know how to say that. And that's about how it goes. She did come out of it a couple days later, and it was like shocking to see her not move and then not respond, and then suddenly it's like, oh, there's a little bit of motion and there's fluttering of the eyes and stuff that just happens, and it's like slow, and she can't feel her leg and she can't move her arm, and then suddenly it was, oh, she's awake and they can do some of the surgeries they needed to do to make sure her head would be okay in the future and she wouldn't die. Something that would just, it was one of those, basically she had encephalitis and they had to drain out fluid to keep her brain from swelling. But they did, and they clipped her aneurysm side, and they did everything they could do. It was miraculous, and I'm not one to believe in miracles, but it was. And so that started about a year of rehab. And, she went to Georgia to a special rehab center, Shepherd Center. And it was wonderful. They treated her very well. But I had to watch. I didn't have to watch. I went to watch, and I wanted to watch because I wanted to be with her. And it was not easy, because you would go, and I remember the first time she was there, she didn't have any glasses, so she couldn't see. And the doctors didn't realize just how bad her eyesight was, and that she couldn't see at all. And she probably could see if you were a foot away, but she didn't recognize anything. And so I went, and she was just so distraught because she was sitting in an ocean of people in a cafeteria. So yeah, I went and see her, and I watched as she went from someone who couldn't stand up, being in bed for a month, watching her in ICU, trying to help her stand that first time that didn't quite make it, to going to the Shepherd Center. And I think it was the second time we actually got to take a walk around the park. And that was the greatest walk ever. We walked around in circles, and it was a slow pace, but anyway. Going on from that, I watched as she was doing mental games and walking and trying to get her life back in order. And I watched as she would sometimes pour salt and pepper in a little paper cup to make tartar sauce. Because her fish was fried and dry and whatnot. And she wanted tartar sauce. And tartar sauce at the time was salt, pepper, paper cup. That makes perfect sense. It's great. And anyway, so she came home from that, and she went to live with her mom to do rehab, mom and dad. And she did rehab 3 or 4 times a week for months, until finally they were like, you're as good as you can be. And I finally got to go get my beloved and come home. And we moved in to our new house that had been being built the entire time. And, we moved in. And we got married. And that's where we are. On February 13th, she walked a mile in under 20 minutes. And to hear someone tell you that, she may never get out of bed, or may never get out of a retirement home, or a nursing home, or assisted facility, or whatnot, and to watch that, to hear that, and to see someone go an entire mile and keep going and going and going, it's phenomenal. So I'm telling you this, not so you can watch me get all whatever I am right now, but I'm telling you this because it's Valentine's Day, and people worry so much, oh, what gift do I get, or what do I get someone, or how do I know they love me, or how do I know? That stuff doesn't matter. It's being there, and it's being alive, and it's telling the person every day. There isn't a day dedicated to it. There isn't a month dedicated to it. It's your entire life, and you best remember that. Everyone should remember that. Hell, I forget, and then I snap right back into reality. I know. I feel like a lot of people really know, but I don't think they show it, and no, I don't always show what I should. And I have to do a better job at that, but so do we all. And anyway, that's my take on it. Hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. By the way, we're going on 4.5 years of marriage. It's almost 5 years, which is a nice internal running joke when I said it's almost 5 years when it was almost 4 years. But anyway, it's almost 5 years. We're still hanging in there. she hasn't killed me yet. You know, she probably would kill me because of my mess, but she couldn't find me in my mess, so I'm pretty safe. And honestly, the fact she can chase me down in the mess is just icing. Hope y'all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And hope you really do. Hope you do. Hope you have a wonderful life, though, and I think that's more important. It's not just one day. It's a lifetime. Have a good Valentine's Day. I'm glad I got to do this video and it has a happy ending, and thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful one. We'll talk at you later, alright? Take care.